What's up, you guys? Welcome to Horror Fiend TV, Three Corners of Horror. I'm Ricky Grimes, here back. What the fuck? My phone went off, sorry. What's up, Horror Fiends? It's your boy, Ricky Grimes, representing Horror Fiend TV. You are watching Three Corners of Horror tonight, +1, because we have Angel from Voices from the Mausoleum here with us. How you doing, Angel?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Excellent, excellent. What's up, JR? Look at you down there, son. What's good?
I don't know, man. Another highly anticipated horror movie called The Black Phone. Was it a good phone call or just busy dial tone?
Busy dial tone. Look at Joe. Joe didn't like that. What up, Joe?
Well, I got the right call on this one. So The Black Phone made the right call with me. I really enjoyed this movie. I can't wait to talk about it with you guys.
Awesome. Well, he said it. We are talking about Black Phone, the Black Phone, starring Ethan Hawke, my boy, fresh off of Moon Knight. That's right. This film is directed by Scott Derrickson. This guy's done The Exorcism of Emily Rose, Sinister, and Doctor Strange. And here he is back in the director's chair doing The Black Phone. Guys, this film was scheduled to be a non-summer film, but the reviews are pretty high and a lot of praise for the film, so they decided to let's make this a summer movie. And for horror, it's always risky, but it paid off because this film was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
and we're gonna talk about it right now. So let's get right into it. Angel, what's up? All right, guys, let's go. Quick thoughts. When you first saw this film, first impressions, what did you think, Angel?
I couldn't sit still the entire time I was watching this movie. I was like full of anxiety the entire time, even during the slower parts, because I knew some crazy stuff was going to happen. Ethan Hawke as a villain could not be more perfect. I love him as an actor. I love him as a bad guy. This movie, I kind of had middle ground expectations. I knew I was probably going to like it. I did not know that I was going to fucking love it.
Yeah. That's the same way I went into it as well.
Yeah.
All right, JR. What up, son?
This is gonna be a fun review. No, it's you know how I am with films are basically put on the pedestal. I always, go in there expecting a lot. No, this was a good, fun film to watch. I think what made it more captivating is the fact that it was done in a different time era. If it was done now, I think it wouldn't have been that good because you would have cell phones. But yeah, it was a different type of film. I do think like I said, the time era it played a great part in this film. And yeah, it was very different, and thank goodness something different for once, not a sequel.
Yeah, you mentioned the era. The very first shot of the film with the popping of the Coors can, I'm like, oh, we're in for the 80s, baby. Yes! Trust me, I'm an 80s baby. So when I saw that Coors can, I'm like, all right. And trust me, I don't watch trailers. I don't read about anything. I went in there blind. All I knew was the fucking mask and the title of the movie. So when I saw that Coors can, I knew it. What up, Joe? How about you, sir?
What's up? No, as he said, the timeline. I mean, truthfully, as soon as I knew where it was taking place, it's when I was a kid. Like, literally, it was me as a kid. Like, this shit could have happened in the neighborhood I lived in, not in Bridgeport. I still love Connecticut, but not in Bridgeport. However, this would have happened when I was a kid. I mean, this would have been something you would have heard about with kidnappings. Obviously, the technology that we have now, things are a little bit different. Cell phones, as you guys said. So it takes you back to that nostalgia of, like, when we were kids, we were very vulnerable. Like, we did not have advanced technology to get out of shit. It was literally left upon to you.
We did a lot of stupid shit too.
Oh yeah, no shit. But yeah, so that for me, honestly, slight little nitpick. Other than that, as a whole, I fucking love this movie.
Yeah, me too. JR, so this film, like I mentioned before, let's set the table right here. I don't watch trailers. I don't read about films. I don't do articles. Nothing. So I have no idea. So I heard a lot of praise for the film, and all I went about is Ethan Hawke's character, his visual. So when I watched the film, it took me by surprise. The supernatural elements in this film. Now, I want to hear everyone's opinion on this. I'm gonna start with GR. Did it take you out of did it take you out of it? Because the film, when I first went in, it was more grounded, but they brought in supernatural elements, which was surprising. Like, did it take you out of the film, or do you think it elevated the film to a whole nother level?
I have a mixed reaction on this one. I did love the whole concept of when he's talking on the phone, he's talking to one of the victims. Spoiler alert, the victims he's talking on the phone. I kind of liked it that they seen him in the background. The mixed thing I have on it, it made me a little bit wonder what exactly did the supernatural element play with Ethan Hawke's character? Because you have one supernatural element on one side. What's with him? Is there anything different with him, supernatural? Which at times it kind of confused me a little bit. Not confusing. It made me have questions really, because yes, I thought it was different. I haven't seen that before, but it just made me wonder on the other side. What about him and the sister? I thought the whole dreaming, almost like clairvoyancy she had, was a lot more interesting, and I kind of want a little bit more of her.
Joe,
Yeah.
Joe, how about you, brother?
For me, I actually enjoyed the supernatural element. I came to find out as I was watching the movie that Joe Hill, who wrote it, is Stephen King's son. So when I came to find that out, because when he originally wrote the short story, the sister wasn't in there. So he created this character. So for me, it was an homage to his father, letting him know this is what you taught me. And he honestly created a character that you would see in a Stephen King book. Yeah. It's a Stephen King character. So I love Gwen. It was a great addition to it because I knew a little bit of the short story going in. So I wondered, how are they going to make me give an hour and a half movie with how short the story was? And the supernatural with Gwen, I loved it. Again, it's classic Stephen King of the 80s. Movie takes place, even though I think it was late 70s, right? Or was it the 80s?
I feel like 70s.
I think it was the late 70s. However, it's kind of how we all grew up. But I loved it. I loved that he added that element into it. It gave an extra thing, and she had a connection with all the kids that were kidnapped. Nothing to do with him. Mm-hmm. So that's why she was getting those visions. So she had a connection with even if it was little interactions. So I don't think she necessarily had to have a connection with the grabber. I think it was just because the connection with the kids.
The mother, she inherited that from her mom, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and her mother.
Right. Her father would beat it out of her. Sorry.
What's that?
Her father would try to beat it out of her every chance.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about him.
Oh, all right.
So how about you, Angel? What did it do for you? Yay or nay?
I have a lot of thoughts on this too. So I think the entire story falls apart without the supernatural elements. You have to have them or the story can't be told. He can't do the things that he does after being captured if there's no supernatural element. The sister part there'd be no point in having one if there was so supernatural element. So it has to have both parts for this story to even work. What I think was really important though was the way they balanced the real life stuff with the paranormal stuff. I felt like the balance made sense. I felt like it was back and forth, but it was just enough that neither side of it irritated me. There wasn't a lull for me when it was, too many real parts versus the paranormal side. And I don't think the paranormal stuff is meant to affect the grabber anyway. He was not part of that part of the story. That was specifically for the kids. And I think like that part is one of the reasons it made it work so well. I think if the paranormal had like kind of spilled over rather into the parts with Ethan Hawke's character, I think we would have gotten a little lost in translation because it wouldn't have made any sense. I loved the supernatural elements. I think the other thing that you can tell too is you can tell that this is a director who did Sinister because all of the shots with the kids are exactly like the shots of the kids in the Sinister movies, which I didn't hate. I really liked the first Sinister movie. So I obviously was like, yep, obviously who did those. No, I love that part. I think that it just I think the whole story came together with those pieces, and without them, there would have been like no enjoyment for the film at all for me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But like when again, I didn't know. I thought it was a grounded film, but once the supernatural elements came in, I was hooked even more. Now I'm like, okay, now I really want to know what the hell is going on here. And you go back to the kids. I don't, Joe's don't like this. I got parallels of Psycho Gorman with the brother and the sister, but done right.
Okay.
Done
all
right. Done
All
right. No,
I
because
was about.
it was
my mouth and face of what we're about to
But
talk
think about
before
it.
I actually talk. So.
It had a brother that was kind of more on the reserve side. His sister's
The
more
one
like
picked on.
she's the firecracker
Yeah.
of the siblings. But I love the actress they picked for the girl here because when she was cursing at Jesus, I was
That was great.
great. Like
That was
actually, a kid would say stuff like that, and I dug that. Yeah, we all been there, man. But the supernatural elements, it walked a tight slope. It could have went bad really easily,
Yeah.
but I like that because it also gave, at least for me, a video game style to this film because all of the voices that he talked to through the black phone, they gave him advice ultimately how to defeat the grabber at the end and how to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And even like showing him the freezer with the meat so he could distract the dog to get out the room. That's all video game type stuff. Like
Yeah.
It is.
like The Legend of Zelda had you doing puzzles, even Silent Hill, Resident Evil type stuff.
I was saying Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, yes,
Resident Evil.
like the
As you're
kid was
saying
like,
all
"Oh,
that.
look underneath the little crevices. There's a rope there. Oh, what's the rope for? Oh, for the window." So I got total. This is my geeking out moment. Total video game vibes from all of that, and the meat at the end was just icing on the cake right there. I think that's perfect. So I dug all that. But the supernatural, just to put a ending on that, I think it was done well. It didn't go too over the top with it. I'll get into this later, but it could have been things that could have been done a bit better. But overall, I really loved it. I love how they kept it. It was supernatural, but still somehow it still felt grounded.
Yep.
And that's important, especially for a film like this. Very very important. Joe, this film here, man, before I saw it late. I saw it really late. I just saw it not too long ago. Not today, but a few days ago. But all I kept hearing, oh, great film, one of the best of the year. This film to you, now, would you rank this as one of the best films you've seen? And if so, where does it stack? Where does it rank for you?
Well, I'm not going to go if seen. I'm going to go with 2022.
Yeah.
Because we have to wait till the year is done to see
That's fair.
exactly how it fares. But I said it before. This movie hit all my nostalgia points. I mean, if you can take my 49-year-old ass back to when I was, 10, 12 years old and be scared, legit scared,
Yeah, bro.
Because again, there's no internet, there's no phone, it's just human interaction. You can get a payphone, if you're lucky, if you had a 10 cents at that time when I was young. But anyway, the only thing you had was the black phone, and the black phone was fucking awesome. So because it felt like it took place back when when I was a kid, I loved all that. The fact that you only have yourself and no other way, no cell phone, no internet to get your ass out of there. It added so much into the element of horror. Is it one of the best? For the year, I'm gonna wait to see what the year holds out, but I can probably. Actually, it probably has the number one spot for me for 2022 right now. We'll see how the year ends. But, again, all the new stuff, because everything takes place now. Like you said, if this had been done now, it wouldn't have worked. Because where it took place, that's where it worked. And the movie is loved because it takes a lot of us back to our childhood and shit that we legit feared when we were kids. So yeah, I mean, it for me right now, it is the number one of 2022.
Angel, how about you, Angel?
Yeah, so right after I saw this, I think I posted about it or I did a review, and I immediately knew it was going to make my top 10 for 2022.
Real quick, you saw us in the theater?
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
I'm not exaggerating. When I tell you I couldn't sit still, my sister went with me to see it, and she was like laughing at me the whole time because I was like moving, like I couldn't sit still. I was so into what was happening. But yeah, no, I knew after I saw this in theaters, without hesitation, it was going to be on my top 10 for the year. I don't quite know where it falls. The only other movie I have seen so far this year that I feel that way about is Mad God. So I would guess probably maybe like top 5 for me so far.
That's excellent film.
Yeah, it really was really good. But there's so much left to come out this year that it's kind of like, ugh. But I do think at the very least, I'm confident that it's going to make my top 10 for the year. It was such a great experience. It made me, Black Phone.
No, same top 5.
Oh, top 5. Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, for me, spoiler alert, I would say it's in my top 5.
Yeah. I mean, I know we still have like a lot to see, but I think that like...
But that's the thing with this year. I'll get to you, Gio. I'm sorry. No, this year, it was a good year for horror. Like I still haven't seen Nope, and I heard that's really good too.
I heard mixed things on that one.
Mixed, and I'm looking forward to Hellraiser, to be honest with you.
I heard a lot of mixed things on Nope.
Nope was really good.
I heard nothing but good things about that.
I've only heard good things.
Yeah, who are you reading, GR?
No, I know. I'm with GR too. If you don't get the message in it, if you don't get the message in it, you're not going to get it.
But that's Jordan Peele.
But the message is super obvious. It's still subtle, like it's not like in your face. But if you miss it, I'm not trying to be insulting, but like.
I was trying not to be insulting and saying, well, there are some.
But the truth is, if you don't get what it's about, either you weren't paying attention, or I don't know, like
you're a dope. Instead of Nope, you're a dope.
JR, what up, son? So JR, where does this fall in this? Because I'm one of the toughest critics I know. No, it's not even that. It's not even that. You're not get out of here, man. You're a gimmick. Listen. Where does this fall?
I'm a gimmick.
You caught that. You caught that list.
I'm a gimmick.
Nah, I'm kidding, Gio. We talked about this off camera. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so yeah. I'm curious because your taste different than all of us. So I want to know what's going.
I mean, for me, it's top 10. I'm not gonna put it top 5 yet because I think there's one movie we have yet to review that I'm curious how you guys feel about it, because this year has been either two things: sequels or originality. That's a big clash of this year so far in the horror genre. And originality has been kicking sequels' ass so far, in my opinion.
And it should.
All the sequels haven't really hit the point. I put Scream separate because Scream, hit the points it needed to hit, but everything else has not hit where it should have been hit as far as a sequel.
Halloween.
We still gotta see Orphan. We'll see how that one is. But for me,
Halloween was last year, right? I'm sorry.
Well, there's gonna be.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, for me, I mean, there is one that I put ahead of this as far as something different that I've ever seen. So, I mean, it is top 10. Will it make top 5?
What is it, Jay?
You Won't Be Alone.
Okay, is that enough? I
haven't seen that one yet.
That's the one we're going to review in 2 weeks with Lexi.
Yeah.
But that one I've seen, and I've never seen anything like that before, and it totally. I mean, it's one of those movies that you see, and I'll be honest, you got to see it twice, because the first time you see it, the beauty of the way it was done, and then the complexity of the story at times clashes. But when I was done watching it, it was one of those movies that you're like, oh shit, this was actually pretty good. I got to go back to watch it again because, like I said, there's a lot of complexity in the story, but the way it was done visually and the narration in the story, for me, it just has it up there because, I'm all about a good story too. So right now, that for me is up there. And I mean, Black Phone definitely top 10, I would say, but will it crack the top 5?
Not even top 5 yet.
No, there's still too many movies to come out, so I want to let all those movies come out.
As of right now, though, we're talking about.
What you
No, it's top 10. It's top 10.
Right now, okay.
It's top 10.
Okay. That's cool.
Joe, Jesus.
What? All I did was cross my arms. I mean, for right now, I'm just saying the year's not done.
But there's a lot. But to be fair,
to rephrase the question, the year is not done.
Yeah.
So if you would have your list right now, would the Black Phone be on your top 5?
No.
Just going by from now.
From the stuff I've watched so far at 2022, no.
No. All right. Look at Angel's face.
I bet I hate that movie you're talking about. Whenever I watch it, I bet I hate it. I bet I watch it and I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Well, it's not like we're watching Sky Sharks.
That's not making any top list except stupid shark movie list. Okay.
Hey,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean,
So
that's
no one
apples
said
and
anything about that
oranges.
being no top nothing.
There's movies you watch to like laugh at. There's movies to watch that. Yeah, this is good.
No.
So.
I want to see Shark Side of the Moon. Have y'all
That's
seen
okay,
it?
Angel.
I've
See,
seen
they
this
make
too.
fun of me for Psycho Gorman. I had so much fun with that, but these two guys trashed the fuck out of that film. I was the only guy in the
Power
review that was like,
Rangers.
"Yes, I love this," and these guys shattered my world. So trust me, like everyone's got their
I
preferences.
listen again. I am a huge fan of Sharknado, so I mean, we all have our taste. Psycho Gorman sucked.
You know,
No,
you know what?
like,
No, but this is the difference, though. I understand why you would say that, though. The stuff that you hated, I hated too, but I can't put
Thank you.
to the side I'm a practical guy. The practical effects, the
Those were
miniatures,
good.
it's the gore, the violence. Like I don't. If I'm watching a movie like that, I'm not watching it for the acting. The one thing I hated was the kid actor because they horrible.
That's what messed up the
But
movie.
not the performance, the writing. The writing was horrible. Anyway, I'm digressing. Angel, let's close this out. Black Phone. We're gonna talk really in depth right now what we really loved about the film or what we didn't like. This is where we give our score and everything. So let's get into it. Angel, the floor is yours. Closing thoughts. Give us a rating. What you liked, what you didn't like, whatever you want to talk about.
Okay. So I think my only problem with the film as a whole, and this is pretty common for, I always said it was like late 70s, but 80s type horror. It's like there always has to be bullies, like always.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember like sitting in the theater and they come on and I'm like, for real? Like,
Yeah.
I'm so tired of bully storylines. Like, I'm so tired of them. And I feel like if you removed that from the equation and you still see everything else about this film, it doesn't matter. Like, it won't have changed the film at all.
You didn't need it.
The bullying didn't make any sense to me at all. Like, I hate bully sequences. They get on my nerves. Like, there's kids that are dealing with really hard things don't have to also have bullies too. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I know it like connects him with the other kid that ends up like helping him or whatever. But I think there could have been another connection there. It didn't have to be the bullies. That was like my only gripe. Otherwise, this is like, you guys do out of 5, right? I always forget.
Yeah.
So otherwise, like, this is a 5 for me. I loved this movie. I think that it was one of those things where I went in, because I did see the trailer before I went and saw it. But I think like I went in with certain, like I said, middle ground expectations. And it was gritty. It was dark. I loved like the end sequences as far as like when he starts fighting back. Like there was literally, thank God there weren't many people in the theater because I couldn't help it. That one part where he hits him for the first time with the phone, I literally out loud in a theater with other people was like, bitch, like super loud because I was like so pumped and into this movie. And as much as like I'm not like a super hard person to please when it comes to horror. I'm not horribly picky, but like when you can get me like that invested in what is going on, that I have like no self-control, like I just feel like that's testament to like how it roped me in. And I know like, you know, our main character starts out like this little like weak, doesn't stick up for himself, and we go through this like arc of like self-preservation. He's like, I've got to do something. But I also liked this side with the paranormal stuff where it was like he also didn't have to do it alone. Because like when I think about like things like that, or like I see movies like Dr. Sleep with these kids that have to deal with this shit alone, for some reason that always makes me feel way worse about the situation. But this gave me like a weird sense of hope in like a really dire situation, which I think is what you're meant to feel because it also makes him feel hope. So I don't know. I thought it was very well shot. Like I said, the mask was way cooler than I thought it was going to be. I love that they didn't ruin that in the trailer, by the way, because like they do that often. But like I didn't see all the phases of the mask until I went and saw the movie, and I thought that was super kick-ass. I love the mask.
Yeah.
And everything about Ethan Hawke's presence is just like, ugh, like it's so good. Like, and I've read his books. Like I've like watched a lot of stuff with him in it. So to see all these different pieces of what he can bring, and then seeing this was like almost like looking at a completely different actor. And I loved it. He did such a great job. I don't think a single child actor sucked. I thought they all did really well. The performances were super strong. And I also really like the sister. The sister was cool. Yeah, so that's really like all of my my major things that I loved. I think the only things that like really got me that were a little more harder to watch was like the child abuse stuff, but I'm kind of glad that was like
Minimal,
sort of off camera. You know, she's like down and you can't really see, like that part was kind of like, it was rough. But I like the connection with the mom too. I thought that was really neat. Not the first time I've seen that, where like the mom has like abilities and the kids get it and then the dad treats the kids like shit. That's kind of I've seen that before, but I really liked it on whole. I love that movie. I definitely gonna make my top 10 for the year, maybe top 5. We'll see.
I want to give some props to Jeremy Davies from Lost.
Yeah, I know he did a good job.
Oh, so good at this. What I liked about it, that he was an abusive father, but you kind of get why he was that way. That doesn't excuse it, but at the end, though, he kind of had like a nice. His arc wrapped up nicely in a way where he reconnected with his kids again.
Yes,
like he left behind the abusive nature. Now he's showing some tender love and care with his children because of what they went through.
He thought he lost them. Yeah,
exactly. And he fell into alcohol and abusive nature, all that stuff. Like, oh, it's horrible. But at least this film took the time to explain why he was the way he was. Not just some, abusive redneck drunk. It wasn't that at all. He had substance, and he, like I said, Jeremy, he's one of those guys where when he pops up, I'm happy for him. I don't know what it is.
He's a good actor. He's a good actor in all the roles he does. He's been in a lot of roles.
Yes, absolutely. So when I saw him here, I was like, oh, good. They gave him some substance. And again, he wasn't just one-dimensional. You understood it. Yeah. And he had a full story arc that resolved at the end where character growth was created.
That's it. Growth. Yeah. That's what you were looking for. The word was growth.
Yes.
That's the word you were looking for before. His character showed growth at the end.
Yeah.
GR, how about you, sir?
I like all your faces.
Let me sit down.
What? I literally.
Let me adjust myself here.
Let me fix myself up. I'm gonna give my score, and then I'm gonna give my pros and cons.
Umbrella.
All right, for my score, I'm gonna give it 4.5. That's my score for the film.
That's 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, for me, I'll be honest, I didn't care for the kid at the beginning, the brother.
Benny?
It took a while for me to even like the whole bullying thing.
Let me cut you off real quick. When the start of the film, when he's the pitcher to Bruce, I was with Bruce. I was like, fuck this guy. I don't look at this guy's cocky motherfucker trying to get the girls. You're in a baseball game, bro. This is before I knew he was a main character. And Bruce hits the home run, and he's like, tries the bases. Look, I'm a baseball guy, so he's looking at him like, gives him the tip. Yeah, I got you. So and what was that line he said? Oh, you got a good arm. What was that line on?
Yeah, you got a good arm. You almost got me.
He kept repeating it over and over. I love that, by the way. That was so creepy.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm sorry. I got you.
No, I mean, it took me a while to really, like Angel said, the whole bullying thing kind of took a zap on me because it's almost every child movie has some kind of aspect of that. And I didn't care for it. And I kind of, the minute the sister was getting beaten and she's standing there and basically crying and arguing with her father about my dreams are dreams. And she just, I was so captivated by Gwen. I mean, the sister her presence for me,
she was
more breathtaking in her roles than the kid. Because even like the scenes where she's getting all the dreams, going to follow him, to look for him, I was more into that than him trying to escape. Because I wanted to see if she gets to him, did she get the right house? Because her character was more interesting to me. That's the one knock I would give. Like,
it's not a knock though.
It's not. Yeah, the supernatural stuff was good, but for me, for some reason, I wanted more from her. For me, her presence was just so excellent in this film that at times it felt overshadowed by the brother, which I don't know. Just for me, I just liked her character a lot better. Ethan Hawke, I don't think he ever does anything wrong. I mean, he could do a movie with John Wick and them both of them not even talking. It'd be excellent.
That man can act the alphabet out and it'll win him an award.
What I liked about the fact that you mentioned all the advice the previous victims gave him, I love the fact that he actually used every
Everything they
single
said.
piece of information that was given to him.
Me
So
too.
in turn, it didn't feel like those phone calls were a waste of time.
Right.
Yeah.
It kept building and building and
Well,
building.
and you didn't get frustrated with him for
No.
being stupid and
No.
not doing it.
Not at all.
But I do think, just a side comment on the Gwen thing, I don't think that there's just one protagonist. There's two. The story is literally split in two. Gwen is the same significance to the story
with Finn,
as
Finny.
Penny is.
Yeah.
There's two mains. It's not necessarily that like he's supposed to be this main character and she's insignificant. Like they're on the same level. There's two main characters. Well, and then there's the villain, but you know what I mean.
She's better. Like y'all faces.
I'm waiting for Rick to say something.
Oh, I'm letting this percolate. What up, Joe?
What's up?
What you got, brother? Hit me
All
up.
right, so I truly was going to keep it short. However, I will make it just a little longer. As being somebody who was actually bullied around the time that he was bullied, I related to him. So, I mean, I was literally bullied up until the 9th grade, and then I got a lot bigger, and then it was on. Because I went through what Finney went through, I related to him, and in your character, you finding your strength to get out of it. Because, even then, as a kid, when I started watching horror movies, I'd hoped that I wouldn't be that stupid kid who made the mistakes and can be able to get the fuck out of shit. I still think I can now with all the movies I watched, especially after a Serbian film. But me, again, other than that, I love the movie. I have no other complaints about it. It's a 5 for me, and I was like that. I was gonna keep it short and just say I have no complaints. A 5 for me until the bully part. I wanted to say that's where I related, but it's a 5 for me.
Yeah. For me, my closing thoughts. It was a bit of a slow build to start with. Not that it wasn't boring or nothing, but I was just more like I wanted it to get going. But once it started going, it ramps up. Then you go back and think about what you just saw prior to that. Okay, I get why they were building it up so much. And the fact that Angel mentioned there's 2 protagonists. Definitely Finney and yes, Gwen. That's her name, right?
Gwen.
Oh, she was so good. I loved it. She was my favorite character right there. Ethan Hawke's character, I will say, the grabber, I wanted to know a bit more about him. And the fact that none of us talked about Max, his brother, who was oblivious to what the fuck his own brother was doing the entire time.
Max, the guy that
he did figure it out.
At the end.
At the end, yes. At the end.
Jackson Rathbone, he's from Twilight.
He plays, he's the silly cop in Sinister.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was
it could be
too.
Snake.
No, he's in a lot of stuff.
Snakes don't have feet.
No, but he figured out at the end.
Yeah,
but but listen, when you're doing a whole lot of coke, your brain goes everywhere. You're like the reason he couldn't figure it out is because he kept snorting shit and then trying to figure things out.
That's what it feels like, Joe. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
I don't know what that feels like.
I thought you were educating us.
Yeah,
no. I'm just saying.
I'm messing with you, Joe.
That his character was doing like lines and staring at it, so he could never really focus.
Yeah.
But then there was that one moment that he was actually not doing anything, and then he did the one, and then he actually got clarity and figured it out.
Did anybody else think he was the one that was going to get hit with the phone? When he was going down the stairs and Vinny was like getting ready, I was like, "Oh shit, he's gonna hit the wrong person."
That I've seen that millions of times in films. Like, come on, no.
I know. I'm so glad they didn't do that, but I was worried.
I watched last night House on Sorority Row.
Oh
There's
yeah,
so many of those type of films.
Yeah,
80s movies. Something like that happened though. Somebody was walking and they're ready, and it's the wrong person. Like,
it's the wrong person.
There we go. Fighting with
that happened in The Strangers. The guy got shot for the wrong.
Yes.
It's really common. I'm really glad they didn't do it, but they set it up to make you think that. I think. And I was like,
the scene when Robin was teaching him the forward, back, boom, and they kept going. Like I was high as hell watching this film, so that shit sounded and looked incredible to me. Before he ripped off the actual framing that was there, the rope went through, but it looked like it was animated, like with some bad CGI. to wrap around. You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't even notice that.
Oh, come on, guys.
That's called looking for something to complain about.
No, brother. Go back and watch.
Taking a note out of JR's book.
Listen, I'm talking about. I'm the practical guy. This guy threw a rope. The rope manipulated itself to wrap around and hook GR. You didn't see that? You noticed everything like that.
It depends on the way. It depends on the way that you throw it.
GR, did you notice that?
Yeah, between that and the fucking name Grabber. Jesus Christ.
The Grabber's great because that's a kid named him the Grabber.
That's the point.
Yes,
Yeah.
a kid named him.
Oh my God, that's the point.
I'm sorry, but listen,
but the rope. Watch the rope again. Go back and watch it.
The 47-year-old doesn't like the name, but if he would have been, 12 at this time,
would have said that guy that's grabbing all the kids.
To be fair, that is a nitpick. My score's a 5. I fucking love this film. Even that couldn't take me out. Trust me, that's there. Trust me, go back and watch it. I'm not hallucinating shit. Watch when he throws that rope. That shit was like.
I'm gonna message her and go, hey, I'm gonna watch Black Phone again. And you're gonna ask me, did you see it? And I'm gonna go, oh, I forgot about it.
Bro, it's in my notes. Look at my notes. I wrote, what the fuck was that rope scene?
Yo, make sure you put it when you edit this.
Guys, thank you for joining us one more time. 3 Corners of Horror, the most outrageous show you're gonna see. We have no fucking clue what's going on, but we love horror. Yes, guys, we all cheer for big bottles of beer. Please give us a sub, like the video. Please subscribe and like Voices from the Mausoleum. Angel, thank you for coming on, Angel. It's always a blast having you. We love your input in these films.
Yeah, thanks.
JR, Joe, thank you, fellas. I appreciate it. I am Ricky Grimes. This is Horror Fiend TV. Come back next week for another awesome episode and catch everything else we put on the internet. It's alright. With that being said, stay scared. Watch that rope. Veggie Dalton. Look at Joe. Joe didn't like that. What up, Joe?
What? Hello. I'm sorry. All right, hold on.
You're holding a fart, dude.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to fight back the giggles.